Hi there. So there's this new thing trending right now, and it's called the sugar diet or sugar fasting, whereas proponents encourage you to eat nothing but sugar and eliminate or nearly eliminate all proteins and fats. And if that sounds pretty insane to you, it's because it is. It's being heavily promoted by fitness and powerlifter Mark Bell, Cole Robinson, who formerly spent years promoting a fasting regimen called the snake diet, as well as by vegan wackadoodle FreeLee the Banana Girl. Now, I want to start this video by saying right up front that I have nothing against these individuals. And the diet that they are suggesting is indeed a weight loss hack that actually works. You can bounce over to their channels to learn why that is, but then you should bounce back over here because I'm going to address why I think this is a very bad idea if you value your long-term health. Don't be confused by the appearance of these influencers. Mark Bell is admittedly ripped, but it's worth noting that he works out to the extreme, and we're talking hours per day. Add to that, he was previously on the low carb and carnivore side of the aisle when he got ripped, even having wrote a book called The War on Carbs. He's not anti-carb per se, but he advocated for a wise, controlled carb approach to eating. That is, until now. FreeLee the Banana Girl, who's young and very slim, is a militant vegan that leans heavily into fruits, which, on the surface, might not necessarily sound like such a bad thing. But then she advocates for dumping large quantities of refined table sugar all over her already naturally sweet fruits, melons, and more. Just look at this.
I recommend adding some sugar to the juice because we live in a world now where the fruit quality is very poor. The fruit is, I'm sure you'd agree, some of the fruit that you buy like from the supermarket or something tastes absolutely shocking. So this is a way we can control the nutrition. Like we can actually improve our situation here.
No. It's a well-known universal truth today that sugar has little to zero nutritional value. Will you get a boost of energy from it? Of course. But it's a fact that it does absolutely nothing to nourish the body. Sugar is considered an ultra-processed food, having been extracted from natural sources and altered to be palatable and convenient. She calls them sun crystals.
And it's actually created through photosynthesis, which is when the plant makes sucrose. It's the same chemical molecule that you find in fruit, same as what you find in a bag of white sugar. Makes the sucrose out of the sunlight, the carbon dioxide, and water together. So that comes from the sunshine. So it's actually crystallized sunlight, crystallized sunshine that you're eating.
I have nothing against fruit on occasion or seasonally, but dumping sugar all over it will make it more harmful, not healthier. Just like 50 years ago, the sugar industry quietly paid scientists to play down the link between sugar and heart disease and point the finger at meat and fats, it's almost as if the sugar industry is now planning these influencers to muddy the truths that the keto and carnivore researchers have brought to light in recent years. Ironically, these people will call keto or carnivore fad diets, but isn't that precisely what this sugar diet is? Just look at what some of these guys are splurging themselves on these days.
What do I eat today? Sugar fasting. Okay, I'll have some candy, a pop, and some Coke bottles.
And now I'm mainly eating sugar. This was this morning. Anyway, I had some Sour Patch Kids, these Starburst jelly beans.
I don't believe there was Sour Patch Kids and Starburst back in ancient times. Obviously, the only way that this is going to work is if you put yourself into a calorie deficit. For me personally, sugar triggers voracious cravings and intense hunger, so there's no way I could make this work. If you put sugar-laden foods in front of me, especially candy, I will not stop shoving them in my mouth until they're all gone or I've vomited, whichever comes first. But if I could make it work, would I try this sugar diet? For me, that's a hard no, and here's why. In short, it's nutritionally void and completely unnatural. The true meaning of a diet is a pattern of eating, a lifestyle. A good diet has to get you what your body requires in the terms of micronutrients, macronutrients, and amino acids from proteins. A proper human diet will achieve this for you, such as a carnivore diet, a ketogenic diet, an animal-based diet, and to some extent, a carefully thought out Mediterranean or paleo diet, and yes, even a well-crafted yet supplemented vegan diet. There are essential fatty acids and amino acids and proteins that your body absolutely must have. But do you know the one thing that you do not have to have at all, and you will not only survive but thrive? Carbohydrates in any form whatsoever. Carbs are non-essential, making them simply optional at best. Contrary to widespread misinformation, you could literally live the rest of your long and healthy life without ingesting any carbohydrates at all. Now, someone will likely comment that the body requires at least some glucose, and this is true, but very little. And guess what? The body can manufacture all the glucose it needs from proteins and amino acids through a process called gluconeogenesis. Someone else will comment that you need glucose or you will have no energy. But the body will also run on fat, and more efficiently at that. You can train your body to prefer fat for fuel, which we refer to as being fat adapted. So why in the world would you deprive yourself of the two essential macronutrients? Why would you replace them with the one macronutrient that does nothing to nourish your body? Why do they even call it a macronutrient? It's almost as if that's misleading. And speaking of nutrients, this is why proteins and fats are essential for thriving and for good health. Proteins are used to build and repair tissue and to bolster your immune system, and they're a good source of B vitamins, iron, and zinc. Fat provides energy, helps control blood pressure, and aids in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. Now, do you remember which nutrients are found in sugar? 0. In fact, many of us here in the carnivore community refer to sugar as poison. And while that's not exactly true, it's certainly fair because it can be. A popular phrase that gets thrown around in health circles says, the dose makes the poison. And there is some truth to that statement that applies in certain situations. The overconsumption of carbohydrates, which break down into sugars anyway when you digest them, can certainly be detrimental. This is especially true if you are older, overweight, insulin resistant, and suffer from chronic and autoimmune health issues. And if you don't currently suffer from these conditions yet, the sugar diet might open the door to these health problems as well as conditions such as diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and more. Sugar is the primary driver of inflammation, and inflammation is the primary driver for atherosclerosis, cardiac disease, and eventual heart attacks. I don't know about you, but I don't want any of those things on my menu. Now, if the sugar diet is something that you have done or will be attempting, that's your prerogative. If you do, I wouldn't do it for long, and I would hope that you would return to a more healthy way of eating fairly quickly. For me, the sugar diet flies in the face of my goals. My goals, however, are not to get ripped, nor to rapidly lose weight. My goals are to heal my maladies, lose weight gradually, and learn how to keep that weight off, as well as nourish my body. A proper human diet should fortify the body. Food is for nourishment, something that a sugar diet or sugar fast totally lacks. To consume nothing but sugar, candy, cakes, chocolates, cookies, pies, and pour spoons of cane sugar over them as if they weren't sweet enough is disturbing, stupid, insane, and utterly ridiculous. You see, after 2 years and more on a mostly carnivore diet, I've come to appreciate what food is and what food is not. Neither Father God nor Mother Nature designed us to eat ultra-processed garbage, nor made it for us. These are recent staples created by man, and coinciding with these inventions, these ultra-processed foods has been a steady incline in cardiovascular disease, diabetes, dementia, and cancers. If those risks are worth getting ripped or being a slave to your sweet tooth, then by all means, dig in. Remember, the sugar diet works, but it's only a weight loss hack at best. You might lose a lot of weight, but you will not have learned about real food, nutrition, and healthy eating patterns. You'll most likely return to your former way of eating that got you sick and fat in the first place and gain all the weight back. And then it will be harder to lose the next time around. You can lose weight on any diet, but the way you approach diet will determine if you lose it the right way, if you will be able to keep it off, and if you will or will not harm your body in the process. Remember, we're not totally anti-plant here on this channel, but we are very pro-meat. A carnivore-centric diet will give you all the essential fats and proteins you need to build and maintain muscle mass, prevent sarcopenia, manufacture necessary cholesterols, build and maintain hormone levels, keep your bones strong, and the list goes on and on. So here's what I really want to know. I want to know your thoughts on the sugar diet in the comments below. Do you think it's insane like I do? Or have you tried it? Would you try it? Do you care only about weight loss? Some of these influencers say that that's all that matters. I disagree. Or do you believe that a diet consisting of nutrient-dense foods is the best way to achieve your goals, whether that's losing weight, reversing disease, or optimizing your health? If you want to be really sweet, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. If you leave me a voicemail in the link in the show notes below, I might just feature your clip and answer your question in a future YouTube video. And if you love the carnivore diet, or even a carnivore-ish diet, which is keto, low-carb, animal-based, and more, and would like to do an interview or a video together, you can contact me down there as well. My name is Bob, and I'll see you next time.